Hey, Don. Sparky, good to see you, bud. Brenda, 210, Glennis, first one in here, all right. Yeah, there you go, the Recovery Channel, awesome. Hey, Kyle, just talked to you guys over here at Mark's, didn't I? Mighty Mark, good to see you. Taylor, Tracy, Moonwater Ranch, cool. Robin, Susan, Carolyn, Kyle again, Victoria, Annette, there you are. Maroon Sky, Karen Lynn, Old School, hey, what's up? What is up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. Let's see here, not sure, Colby Jack, Carolyn, Kyle again. Here we go, guys. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit laid back, you know. It's kind of late, so I figured, well, I'll just hop on here. Mark was getting off anyway. I kind of missed his stream tonight. Not a big deal, but I try to catch them all. You know, just it's always good to have that positivity, and he definitely brings that. That is a definite yes. You know what I mean? But with that being said, do you guys see my intro? I just kind of, you know, I try to switch that up every once in a while, guys. I usually keep the same music. Everybody seems to like it. I actually like it a lot too myself. Kind of gets me moving, you know. Again, it's not a downer type of thing or a gloom and doom type of whatever, and just, you know, very intense stuff. It seems to get me all pumped up a little bit. And I like that. So that's why I chose that song. I don't know how I came across it. It was on one of my, I think it's called Exciting. And it was on one of my screen recorder apps that I use for editing. And, hey, Denise. Glad you're here. First time here, huh? Hopefully you'll subscribe and, check us out. We try to stay positive, but we also keep it real. That's something that we have to do, I think. But yeah, I see that, Diane, right there. You know, you just said something that, Dutch did a stream earlier, guys. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily, he actually premiered it on YouTube, but he was, I think he was streaming on Twitch with it. But, yeah, he wasn't really talking about the beams right now, but it kind of came up a little bit because of, there's been some hot spots that would just pop up. And, he's been talking about the North American Craton, the big plate. That basically, it's all of North America, but right around the edges of it. He's been noticing stuff for quite some time now. Seismic activity and things like that. And he went to Google Earth, and he was seeing the hot spots. And they were following that Craton boundary. It was crazy. So, and that's a big plate, guys. And when you start seeing that, probably and I didn't get a chance to see exactly what he was saying or thinking, but I think he was talking about how, I talk about plasma all the time. The magma that's underneath the ground is moving, and it's creating hot spots, and it's moving, and it's showing up around that North American Craton plate. And so that can mean, the plate itself is slipping. He did one about the New Madrid, which is part of that North American Craton. I would encourage everybody to go over and watch his last premiere. It will put some stuff into perspective, and it will do a whole lot of other things too. Hey, cute lashes, good to see you. Hopefully you stick around. Danielle, what's going on, Daniel? I said Danielle, sorry. Michael Hart, what's up, bud? If I missed anybody, I apologize. I really try to say hi to you guys. Axe, good to see you, bud. I believe you're a male, right? A male, female? By that name, I can't really tell. If I remember right, from being over at Mark's stream, talking a lot over there. I'll take you guys over to Mark's stream too, but I do want to bring up something about that also. Anybody that doesn't have DLive, I would encourage people to download that. You can go to the App Store. It's free, obviously, and you set up a real quick account. It doesn't take but a minute. But there's a lot of different platforms we can, access. So when they start messing with us on one of them, we can kind of, switch over to the other one, do whatever we need to do, and still keep in touch. So, with that being said, I don't necessarily have I don't have any videos or anything over there. I do have a DLive account, but I'm not active on it. I mean, I'm over there, I'm there to, subscribe and watch other people over there. I don't do any work over there. I don't post any content. It's just simply, it's a social media thing for me. But Mark Pyres uses it, and he's up to 130 followers over there, and we need to get him to 200, because once you get that, I guess that's the magic number over there on DLive. From what Sig was saying, he was saying that if you get it up to 200, then it opens up a whole lot of other options that they can do as far as posting videos and stuff. Hacksaw, I do have a DLive, but I'm not active on it. I may be in the future, but I am going to post a link here in a little while to Mark Pyres' DLive account, and I would really love for you guys to go over there and sub up to that. And he's at 130. If I could get 70 people over there, it'll put him up over that 200 mark, and it'll allow him to do a lot more things over there. He's just trying to spread the positivity. He's a realtor. He's got 3 kids and a family. He does a whole lot of work selling the beat seat thing that he's produced. And yeah, I will in just a minute, Hacksaw. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if I have DLive on my PC, and that's where I'm at right now. I know I got it on my phone, so I'll look at that here in a minute. You know what? If you guys got time, I'll just do it now. Okay, cool. If anybody can, Mighty Mark, do you have a DLive account? Or is there any other mod in here? I don't know that I've restricted even the just the subscribers posting a link. I think you guys can probably post a link here. If anybody could go over there. Hi, Christine. Good to see you. Oh, that's okay, Mighty Mark. It's not a big deal, but I would encourage you to do that, because there's a lot of backup platforms that we could go to and stuff. I'm not talking about doing any of that for me right now. I'm not having any issues with that, but sometimes we do, and that's why they try to build those other ones at the same time. Plus they're starting to do that. Mark's trying to do it for his job eventually. Me, that's not what I'm doing this for. So that's just a difference that we have, and that's why I don't really, I got a Facebook group, and so yeah, if anybody could post a link to that for him, that would be great. Let's go to Mark Pyres on DLive. If you guys can't get that in there, let me know, and I'll put it in there here in a few minutes. But I'd really love to get him up there. So anyway, I do want to show you guys some space weather here. I don't want to just come on here and do nothing. I guess before we do that, I'm going to pin this chat, because I want you guys on top here with me this time. I did my daily update earlier, and we are having some space weather, and just like I've been talking about, we're getting some, density issues and things like that. That's actually going on right now. I think, let's do this real quick. I'm pretty sure I got one of these pulled up. Nope, I don't. I thought I did, but I don't. Okay, what we'll do then, I'll run you guys through some of these things that I'm seeing, okay? I want to show this to you first, and then we'll talk about the earthquake stuff again here in just a few minutes, because I do think that's very, very important for people to understand what's going on when it comes to that. So what was I down here? Let's go. Well, I tell you what we'll do. We'll just start with this. This is the Space Weather Prediction Center. And obviously, guys, and I did this in my daily update. Thanks, guys, for being here, by the way. Mods, Christine, everybody that's here. Menacing Muskrat, good to see you. Northern Canada, all right. Hey, you know what? Man, that's where I want to be. I know it sounds crazy to a lot of people, but I would love, I love snow, number one. I don't really like, 20 below zero, but I'd rather have that than, 110 degree heat. That's just myself. But that is what it is. People just differentiate, you know. The continental slip there. Yeah, that is kind of good news. I won't say good news. It's good information. Bad news, but good information. Danielle, sorry, I keep calling you Danielle. I apologize. Sorry, man. He touches on a good info there. The Antarctic continental slip. I think what he's referring to there is the iceberg melting and stuff. Everything's starting to add some salinity. Yeah, I got his. Mark Pyers, his YouTube is in the description box below, guys. I need to get his D Live in there because I really want 70. Let's get him up to 200 over there, and that would really make things a lot better for them that use that platform over there. They're able to do, like, I think, super chats and stuff like that once they do that kind of a thing. He is, like I said, he's a full-time realtor. He's a father of 3, married, running a household, that kind of a thing, and all the other business and stuff that he's doing. He's trying to get away from the realtor aspect of it and all that, so he can concentrate on doing, content here and just doing the positivity thing. So that's the reason. But anyway, guys, you can see here the solar X-ray flux. Now, I remember at the end of my video yesterday, I was telling you guys I thought this was what was going to happen. And it actually did. Once that sunspot rotated off the limb of the sun, the X-ray flux just dropped out. But then we get this, right? The geomagnetic activity's up. So, yeah. Good to see you, Bonnie Soul. Faye, good to see you, Kathy. D. So we're getting some increased activity here, and it really is kind of what I said yesterday about this. We are seeing a higher dense event than we are solar wind speed. Okay? What we're going to do, we're going to look at the ACE data first, because I showed it in my daily update, I don't know, about 5 hours ago, I guess, by 7 hours ago. Wow. Anyway, it was right around 5 o'clock when I posted that. And for those that are here that watch the daily update, I am trying to get those to 30 minutes and below. So when you come watch those, I'm not going to be able to chat too much. I even thought about just doing the record option, but I don't know if I'm going to do that because I do like to ask people, if they have any questions at the end of it. So it'll probably just be a quick live show, and I have to keep it straight and to the point, and none of this side rant that I go off on sometimes, and none of the, unfortunately, some of the communication would have to come down a little bit during that little 30 minutes, but at least I can answer some questions on that end of it. But if you guys look here on the ACE data, back to that though real quick before I lose my train of thought. I'm all over the place right now, I apologize. But I do think that 30-minute thing is a good thing because, if you guys go back and watch my other content before I started live streaming some stuff, that's pretty much what it was. And, and I was trying to incorporate and figure out how to communicate with you guys a little bit more. And that's when I started to, read the comments and address some of the comments that were in my comment sections. I do think that helped us kind of connect. And that's actually, ultimately, that's what drove me to doing the live shows. Because I like that conversation. I think it's more personal, number one. Number two, it does let you know that the person behind this computer doing this channel, myself, really do want to connect with you guys, and I value what you guys say, and very highly. Okay, and that's true in my own life. Just walking around, I value what people say. Okay, I take what they say serious, and I try to do my best with it, and and that's why I did a lot of the live. I've been taking a lot of flack from a few people for my live streams. Kind of taking over a little bit here. Which is why I'm kind of reverting back a little bit. I'm going to try to find a middle ground there. And I think I know how to do it. And I'm going to, once I get the live streams, the daily updates to 30 or below, I'll be good with that. Because that's what my other content was there. So basically I'll be on twice a day. Pretty much. About every day. I may skip a few of the live streams once in a while later on. But the daily updates, I plan on doing those every day, guys. So hopefully that'll work out for everybody. Yeah, it's tying together for sure. Yeah, it is. Do you still check your email you list on your YouTube page? Spice, I haven't checked my email in the past couple of days. I do. Well, which one is on the page? Is it the KLD? I'll tell you what. Let me drop I'll put a. I need to check that. I haven't checked it yet. I have gotten away from the AOL account. I used to have an AOL account that I kind of ran things through. I'm trying to switch over to this Gmail because, AOL got bought out. Everybody, you guys got to understand. Yeah, KLD is, yeah. See, and I tried to check that account, that KLD man account, but this is the one I'm going to start using. Okay? The bluecool52 at Gmail. That's the one I'm going to be using. Eventually, I'm going to phase out that AOL account, so thank you for pointing that out. I need to change that. AOL just became, it's ancient stuff now. They didn't stay up with things like they should have. Things are, doing certain things. So, yeah. Anyway, space weather here real quick. The BZ, guys, see, it's in the negative. Heck, it went to negative 10. That's you could see this kind of opening and closing. And, when this is in the negative, that means the door's open for the sun to send energy our way. That's a basic way of thinking about it, but essentially that's what this means. Okay? Now, the phi angle kind of follows it. But something that's really bothering me about this ACE graph right now, and it is this. And I mentioned it in my daily update. But that would be the fact that the range that they're showing us here is so small. It really shouldn't be doing that. Okay? Because what it does is it's deceptive in the fact that, because we only got a 60-degree range here. A 60 kilometers per second range. And usually that's anywhere between 200 and, I've seen it as high, well, the other day it was 200 on the bottom and 1400 on the top. That's 1200, not 60. Both of those are extreme. That was too much. Now this is too little. So, if this graph was reading 300 to 500 like it should be, this up and down popcorn looking stuff would be a straight line right in the middle. So it's kind of deceptive in the fact that it's showing activity when there's really probably not much as far as the speed going all over the place. So I really wanted to point that out. So the density is, like I said, it's up 10. 10 is an elevated density, guys. All right. Now this is showing all the way down to 0.1 and then 100. That's actually a fairly high. It's kind of the opposite of this. Usually this is like 0.1 and the top number would be 10. So why does it do this? Just to answer somebody's question on that. This is a model, okay? They're not manning this thing all the time. This model's getting data collected, and when it sees like a data point, let's use the speed here for example. Say it sees a data point at 300. That would mean that this 320 would have to change to 300 at the very least. That way they could plot that point. So when they see something high and it sees something low, that's usually what this graph will go by. But I've noticed that this thing is pretty narrow lately. And then something else here was kind of strange to me is that all this stuff here is, activity, right? Why did the temperature drop out? That was it was kind of strange. Yeah, George. That's a decent theory. I think people need to look at that. Yeah, that is something that I'm not going to get into all that because that's definitely something that would take up a lot of time to try to explain. But that is what it is. But as far as that goes, guys, look at this. I mean, the temperature is low. Why are these other things high? Now, here is the Enlil data. All right. Let's bring you guys over here. Now, I know I'm going to try not to move that around too much. I know it bugs people. It bugs me. So I apologize for that. But I do want to, I'm going to stay connected to you guys here right now. So, if you guys want to look at this, I'm going to run this graph. I'll just push the play button here. And you can see up here, right? That is obviously that's what we were, this little hump here, this little increase, it actually was back here. This thing stayed very consistent this time. I have to give this model some kudos on that, because I'm slamming this model almost every other time 5 days out. This time it was right. So, yeah. Now you've seen this right here, right? That's a side view. When this comes back around, if you look at this side view, you'll see when this humps up, because the colors will change here. See, watch. Here it comes. See? And bam, it hits us. That's high density, right? Look at the speed down here on this spiral graph. There's hardly any blue on this, which means that the speed itself is elevated. So what we're seeing, guys, look, we had an uptick here, right? That's already passed. That is historic fact at this point. It's saying we dropped back out. I haven't looked yet. We don't have any, the satellite that gives us the data is in its blackout phase right now because of line of sight. But right now we're about right here. And if you follow that down to here, within the next day, we're going to be peaking up to around 700 kilometers per second with the wind speed. Good to see you, Karen, Taylor. Hey, Mark, what's up? But we can see this going on, right? So when we get this uptick, what's going to happen? Well, our geomagnetic activity is going to rise, guys. And what's really strange is nobody's talking about this. We almost went into storm level just a few hours ago. Right here. I mean, we were a hair from a G1 storm. Which means, the only thing that means is that's a very low level storm, and we would see, decent amount of aurora, uptick in earthquakes. That's probably the biggest thing that would be concerning to people. But I've shown you guys multiple times well, I guess I could do it again. It's right here. Where is it at? Right there. Okay. This is what you can expect during these storm levels. Right? G level 1 storms basically give us hardly anything, right? We get cool stuff actually, with auroras and stuff like that. Now they can add energy into our global circuit, and it will, the earth acts like a capacitor. It'll hold it, and it will help increase earthquakes. I mean, even mainstream science is now saying that, okay? And it took them years to come around to that. So, yeah. Peer-reviewed papers this last year that have come a long way with this kind of research. I think what's happened is they figured out that the public isn't as stupid as what they thought we were. And people like Dutch and a few others, Scott, and everybody else bucking the system because it wasn't the truth and what it actually was. And they stood their ground. Finally, they had to address it. And unfortunately for them, the studies that they did not support their own theories. They had to back off on them. So that's what happens, guys. That's how things change, okay? We get hammered a lot for stepping out on something that isn't mainstream, theory. There's a lot of theories we talk about here, and I've never once called any of my theories or anybody else's theories fact. Because it's not. It's not fact until it's empirically proven. The biggest one I go to is the listen to the words I'm getting ready to say, the theory of gravity. Yes, gravity is still officially a theory. Okay? It's not empirical fact, and that's why they can't call it that. Now, do I think that gravity is real? Most certainly, okay? I'm not saying it's not. I'm just stating the fact, like a technicality there, that nobody has been able to, prove that 100%. And a lot of people get, you know, I don't know. A lot of people get like shocked by that, and yeah, it is. It would be shocking to hear that, but I guess where I would go with that is it would be there is a force there that we're calling gravity. Okay, something's holding our butts to the ground. I mean, that's just what it is, right? And things are, yeah, gravity isn't constant. It will, it varies because of mass and a lot of other conditions affect it, right? But it is, they're able to use gravity and certain formulas and things to accurately predict things happening in the future. So when that happens, when you're able to do that and predict something that's going to happen, that pretty much validates that something is there, whether we're going to call it gravity or something else. But there's something going on there. That's the biggest thing. I've been asked about like the flat Earth theory and things like that, and I've addressed that a little bit before. For me, I'm a globe earther. Okay, obviously, you just look at my channel. And don't get me wrong, I looked into all of that. Matter of fact, I still watch the debates. Every great once in a while, I'll see one of them get on there, and they'll come up with a decent point that can't be like debunked really quick. Not very often, but it does happen once in a while. But the biggest problem with that theory is they don't have a working model. So they can't explain certain things, and they can't, accurately predict the future using their own data. All they can do is they can, try to pick apart the globe theory, but when you do that, you're really not proving the flat Earth theory. You're just saying that the globe theory isn't right. So I guess it's a double fallacy if you do it that direction. I'm not saying that some of it can't be incorrect, but for me, I'm not a flat earther. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to slam people that are. People are allowed to have their own opinions. Mighty Mark, yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot of things, okay? We can get into some big conspiracy stuff, and we're not going to. We do enough here with what I talk about, right? I do think there's some fishy stuff around, like the moon landing and stuff like that. Do I think we went to the moon? I'm kind of on the fence on that. Do I think that it could have been, like filmed or whatever and did however people say that they are and all that kind of stuff? To be honest with you guys, I've never researched it enough to actually come out and give you a definitive answer on that. It's hard for us to kind of go against something like that until we really research it. Because we've been told that all of our life, so we just kind of have accepted it, and that's what we fight against, right? The old dogma. I've seen some evidence from that would push me to think that it's possible that it could have been all jacked up. But I've also seen some other evidence that kind of proves it. So, I mean, it's, what do you believe? But yeah. Does it matter? I get asked that a lot too. Yeah, it kind of does. It really does. But yeah, conspiracy theory statement is old news. Just look up where that oxymoron came from and why. Okay, I can do that. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna talk about that anymore because, I try to steer away from those big controversial things because, even those of us that can be respectful and stuff here in the chat, sometimes it gets so intense because people don't want to come to the middle on what they believe because it's such a hot topic. Sometimes it gets really bad. And that's why I save those kind of discussions for like the debate channels. I can point you guys to some really good debate channels. People go in there and they're debating, every conspiracy theory you could ever possibly imagine. I'm talking from JFK to moon to flat earth. I'm talking all of it. 9/11, all of it. Okay? And, I guess the biggest one for me, guys, is a channel called Modern Day Debate. he takes a completely neutral stance on everything. Okay, so he's a true moderator. He'll let anybody and everybody come on his channel and debate whatever topic. And what happens is, over there on his channel, if you super chat, they will actually use those super chats to question and answer the debaters at the end of the show. So yeah. Yeah, Archangel, like I said, guys, that's what I'm saying. There's so many different ideas and evidence and stuff for stuff like that. I'm not going to go talking about all that right now, because obviously the algorithms probably smacked me across the face just because I said it one time. But yeah, yeah. Say 2 sunsets and turtles all in the same evening. I saw it twice without my camera. Then went to see turtles. There it was. Yeah. Some of those guys, and this is what I want to say to that. When we're using our own photography and we're using our own capture devices, our phones, our cameras, whatever we're using, right? Here's a couple things I want to say to that. You can't, if you're going to do that kind of stuff and you're going to, get a picture, take a picture and look at it and see if we can see things with it. And yes, our cameras can see things that are there that we can't with our own eyes. I'm a very big advocate of that, because it's true. That's why we use filters even when we're looking at the satellite imagery, right? Because it's showing us different gases and different things in a different part of the spectrum of light that our eyeballs cannot see. So I don't have a problem with that part of it. Where I have an issue is if somebody's going to take a picture of like the sun, because I fell into this too myself when I first started getting into this thing. I would go out and take pictures of the sky and look at them and think, my gosh, that's 2 suns, that's 3 suns, that's this, that, and the other. And I can tell you that I don't have one picture that I took myself that I didn't end up debunking myself. And what I'm saying by that is, if you're going to take a picture of the sun, first thing you have to do is you have to get out from behind whatever glass is in front of you. Like car windows, your house windows. There has to be nothing in between you and that sun. Okay? The second thing is, if you're going to prove it to me or anybody that thinks like this, you're going to have to eliminate the fact of a lens flare, a double lens flare, a triple lens flare, a quadruple lens flare, believe it or not. You can have all kinds, you can have tons of lens flares. You guys know how the one single easiest thing you can do to prevent that and to prove to yourself that what you're looking at isn't a lens flare is to simply take your finger out in front of your camera, cover up the main light source. Leave everything else there, but take your finger and stick it in between the camera and the sun. If you do that and all those other objects disappear, that means that those are all lens flares. Okay? Or reflections or whatever else off the insides of the camera. You have to cover up the main source of light and see if it goes away. Now, if you're seeing it with your naked eye, you need to take a picture of it just like that and put your finger in front of the light source. That way nobody could come back to you and say, hey, that's just a lens flare. I've yet to see anybody do that and show me a picture of them, sticking their finger, covering up the light source, and then the lens flare, what looks to be a lens flare, is still there. I've never seen that. Not one time. And that's what's got me, we have to be able to understand that. I'm not saying that there ain't stuff out there right there, okay? I'm not saying that stuff can't be out by the sun. Obviously, I show you guys that on the satellite imagery, right? But in order to make sure that nobody can come back at you and debunk whatever you're trying to, show people, you have to do things like that. And, So, I even did a video a while back doing that for people to show them what I meant. It's simple, seriously. And what happens is, if you get people that want to argue with you on that one, but yet they won't do it, you might want to ask them why. You know what I'm saying? I'm being serious about that. I'm not trying to be, like vindictive or anything like that. But if somebody's going to show you something like that, and you're just simply asking a question, right? I do my best on here on my channel to show you what I got with observation stuff, right? This is one of the main reasons why you don't see me, showing you my own footage, as far as from my own camera. Because I've not been able myself to go outside, look up at the sun, take a picture, and cover up that main light source and actually see two objects. It's not happened for me. But I don't discount anybody in what they say that they're seeing. Okay. I think that all of it's possible. But I need somebody, like, if they're going to, because I've had a lot of people send me pictures of this, and early on my channel, I was actually showing a lot of it. And, once I figured out, because I didn't know nothing about, the camera part of it and covering up the light source and all that kind of stuff, right? If you think about it, that's one of the most easiest things that you can do. To totally, if that's what you're actually, if you look up in the sky without your camera, and you look up at the sun and you see two objects, right? Then you grab your camera and you take a picture of it, and the first thing you need to do is stick your finger in front of the main light source. Because that's going to prove what you just seen. Because it's still going to be there if it's actually there. That's my point. So, and that's kind of what I'm saying, guys. But, I think that people show things, and I think sometimes that they're on point, and I think that sometimes I just don't agree with what they're showing, but that's okay. That's my whole point on this whole subject. I can disagree with people and still be their friends and still get, value from their content, just like they can come over here and get value from mine. So that's where I'm at with that. I try my best to stay in the middle of the road. But I do have my opinions, and I do try to voice them, especially during live streams like this. I try to do it in a respectful way. I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna slam anybody for telling me that they seen something. Okay. Until somebody proves to me that they're lying, I'm going to believe them. You see what I'm getting at? So when I do see that, I guess here's what it boils down to me. Okay? As simple as putting your finger in front of the camera is, why isn't everybody doing it? Just ask yourself that question. Okay? And if you didn't know about that already, try it for yourself. All right? And that's where I'm at with that one. And if you do, if you can, like, show me a picture of two suns or a sun and another object with the main light being whatever, I'll plow that sucker all over my channel. I would. You know what I'm saying? I really would. But somebody has to show me what they did there. Okay? I hear this often too. This is what kind of blows my mind sometimes also too. Is, you'll hear certain people, and I'm not saying any specific channel or any certain person or anything like that, but you'll hear every once in a while you hear somebody say, "Man, I seen that with my naked eye, and I went to go grab my camera, and by the time I got back, it was gone." You have to sit there and you have to ask yourself, what? What, are you kidding me? We all got phones. You see what I'm getting at there, guys? I just think that they're kind of, man, I don't want you to go down this road because I know it's going to sound offensive to a lot of people, but it's not me being offensive. It's just telling you my opinion on it. You know, you really have to be able to cover that main light source, and then if you see something, then it's a possibility that it's actually there. If you do that and it disappears, it's not there, guys. It's really that simple. You know, for me. And, you know, even people that do that still show that kind of stuff, but refuse to do those little tests for you, I still go to their channels. I still, you know, talk to them. I still do this and I still do that. Because I do think that they do some other research that's good for everybody. You know, not everybody believes what I say. You know, but, you know, those of us that run channels, a lot of people don't believe what we say, but we're not allowed to disagree with somebody else. We get slammed when we do that. You know, for me, I just try to put it out there in a respectful way. And this is one of those subjects that's just, it's so polarization, it's crazy. And there's a whole lot of other science and stuff behind why it would be, you know, we really need to do that, just that one little simple test. And there's other tests too, guys. It's like, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but back in the day, like the Canadian webcams, I made a video myself, like my third or fourth video, showing everybody a Canadian webcam that had this big, huge, like, triangle, like, pink triangle anomaly, right? And you know what it ended up being? The Canadian webcams actually have a different aperture than what they use in the American webcams, like the FAA cams. The Canadian aperture, the shutters, it's a triangle shape. That's why. That's why those triangles were there. That's why you only seen those triangles on the Canadian webcams. So it's stuff like that I didn't know early on that I've, you know, since then I've researched out, and it's what it's caused me to do is it's caused me to be extremely cautious when I think I see stuff like that and really research it out before I bring it to anybody. You guys notice that here on my channel, even with the satellite captures that I try to show you guys, I still, most of the time, I'll wait to see if all the data's in. And that's just what it is, you know. and again, guys, please don't take that as any kind of offense to anybody that's, you know, saying that they have pictures of two suns. Because I can't deny or verify what they're telling me or showing me. Which is why I would love for people that are, you know, to really do that little bit of a thing when they're doing anything, you know. If, like, this is, seriously, it would stop all of this conversation, all of the doubt, if every time somebody thought they seen two sun or objects and stuff in the sky with, you know, on their camera, if every time they seen that, they took the half a second it took to throw your finger over that sun, that's all it would take to end that whole conversation. Because that it completely debunks the whole lens flare thing. That, you know, if you put your finger in front of it, nobody could ever deny that it wasn't a lens flare, because that's what would eliminate the lens flare. So if it's still there, then you've proved what you just seen, and you need to be blasting it from the mountaintops. But if you do that and it goes away, I would really be reserved to try to show it to somebody, because it's just, guys, it's just simply not there. I hate to say it like that, but in my opinion, that's what it is. You know, and again, guys, it took me forever to get where I'm at now, in what I'm looking at and how I see things. The biggest thing I've learned is patience and acceptance. And when I'm talking about acceptance, what I'm talking about is accepting the fact that when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, and to the point where I would come out with correction videos and go back and delete the information I'd put out there so somebody else wouldn't come across that at some time and think it's actually what it is. You know, I would have loved to left those videos up just so I'd have a reference to go back to, but I could not leave those there, because it would be, you know, if anybody that was new to the community or whatever would come across those videos, it would steer them in the wrong direction. So that's why, you know, when we do stuff like that, that's why. But one more time, I want to say this one more time. If you want somebody to completely 100% believe that there's two objects in a capture that you got, you have to cover up the main source of light and eliminate the chance of a lens flare. So that's just what it has to be. You know, anything short of that, people can argue with you about it, and that, for me, that's just not, it's not productive. That's all. And I know that probably about 50% of the channels out there now, I know a lot of them do that. They show those kinds of things, but, you know, the true test is once they hear something like what I just said, if they actually do it and then come back out on their channel and show people that they're doing it. Because I'm pretty sure that they probably won't. Because what that's going to do is it's going to show everybody that the majority of the stuff that they've shown is most likely lens flares. And that's sad for them. It really is, because, you know, that would destroy me if I had done something like that. And then, you know, say I was doing a channel for 3 or 4 years and didn't know that that's what that actually was. Finally, somebody told me something as simple as sticking your finger in front of the light source could, you know, tell me if it's a lens flare or not. And then I do that, and then, oh my gosh, everything that I thought I was seeing isn't there anymore. That would be devastating for somebody. It really would. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of them refuse to do it. It's something so simple that could prove so much. It's kind of crazy. You know, and there's other things that can cause I guess an anomaly too, like reflections inside the camera. But again, most of those will be eliminated by covering up the light source. Not to say that they can't happen outside of them. There's all kinds of different kind of crazy lens anomalies. But here's the thing. I do believe that there's things that we see on our cameras that are there. Okay? It's just, you have to do those kinds of things. You have to do your due diligence on stuff like that. Because in order to get people that are, you know, not in our community to become part of our community, you have to show them that kind of stuff. That way they can believe what you're saying. That's all, you know. I'm sorry if I offended anybody there, but that's just how, you know, that's my opinion. And I still respect the people that do whatever they're doing, because they are trying to learn for the most part. There's a few out there that are doing nothing but trying to just do whatever. And again, I'm not going to talk about those people, but it is what it is. But I really hope that people kind of hear that and they actually do it themselves. And then they, you know, if they can prove it to themselves, that's really what's kind of important. You know, I don't know, guys. You know, I've seen so many pictures of 2 suns, 2 moons, 2 this and 2 that, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that all of it wasn't there. It's just nobody has ever proved to me that it was. You know, I guess the biggest thing I'm saying here is I don't understand why somebody would not do that once they know that that actually needs to be done. And I have personally told 3 or 4 different people in the background to do that. And then I never heard from them again. You want to know why? Because they went out and did it, and they knew I was right after they did it. So they didn't want to talk to me no more. That's why. But they continued on doing what they were doing. You see what I'm getting at here, guys? That's happened a lot of times. So, yeah. Anyway, I know I went on a rant there for a minute, but that's what this live stream is for, so we could communicate and talk to each other. And I try to put it out here in a positive way, and I don't think any less of people, okay, that think that they're seeing two suns without doing that kind of a test. I just think that most of them don't know. But what I would say to those, if anybody's listening to me that does know that that's actually what you need to do, and you still haven't done it, you need to ask yourself why. Because I think what it ends up being is you're afraid to know the truth. Because I think if you really look at it, you're going to figure out that what I'm saying is probably the truth. You know? So, anyway. Thanks, little sister. I appreciate that. Willow, good to see you here. See here, the sun looks much brighter near sunset this week. Anyone else know? Yeah, Susan, there's actually a reason for that. That is a harvest moon type of stuff going on right now. It's harvest time, and that's why they call it harvest moon. But this time, about every year, we start getting those kinds of things happening. I really hope I didn't hurt nobody's feelings there. That wasn't my intent. It really wasn't. I guess I wouldn't be true to myself if I didn't tell you those kinds of things. You know. And I'm sure somebody will be mad at me over saying that, but I can't. I can't be I can't tell you I believe in something that I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I really truly believe there's some sort of a simulation up there, okay? Like a sun simulator, that kind of thing. Yeah, Della, I mean, yeah, I could agree to that. Certain things during certain types of times of the year look bigger, smaller, this, that, and the other. So, thanks, Spice. I appreciate that. I try to go to everybody else's channel and stuff and take a look at what they got going on and all that kind of thing. And, and like I said, I've talked to 3 or 4, probably even more than that. Once my channel started getting a little bit bigger, people started coming to me, just like I did when I was starting off. I was going to all the bigger channels just trying to give them my information. And I know how it felt when that information that I was trying to give them, number one, if they didn't look at it, they just kind of ignored me, and that happened quite a few times. So I try my best not to do that to other people because I know how it felt. And it felt like, well, if I'm part of this community, how can I be productive and be helpful if they won't even look at my information? You see what I'm saying, or my observation? And what ended up happening was, there were a few out there that were, giving me some sort of a, they were allowing me to still put out information that was wrong. And they knew it. That was one of the biggest things for me that I had to deal with. And I don't want to do that to anybody else. Okay, so if I'm doing or looking at something and you guys ask my opinion on it, like in an email, show me some captures, I'm going to give you my true opinion on it. And I'm going to give you reasons why. I'm not just going to say, hey, that's wrong because of reasons. No, I'm not going to say that to you. If I don't know the answer to it, I'm going to say, hey, I don't know the answer to it, but let's look into it together. Go ask somebody that's been around a lot longer than I have. Maybe we can get some answers that way. And the thing that happens there is we grow. We grow with each other when that happens. And guess what? This is another thing for me too. Like when I was putting those early videos out, and I come to find out a lot of the stuff I was showing was just nothing more than a lens flare. I remembered that because it was such a hit to either my pride or either to like, oh my gosh, I've been wrong for this amount of time and nobody ever told me why. You know, that was more offensive to me than anything else. If somebody knows that you're wrong but allows you to continue to be wrong, what's worse? Not saying something or allowing you to continue? Just because you're afraid that person might get mad at you when you actually tell them what you think the truth is. You can't let that stop you from telling somebody what you actually think. It might hurt their feelings for a minute, but I guarantee you if they're anything like me, they're going to come back later on and thank you. Because they're going to figure out that you were right if it's actually the truth. And for me, that's how I've always ran my life, to be honest with you. I learned more from my mistakes than I have ever learned from anything else. You know, my mistakes and others' mistakes. I learned from watching, you know, the mistakes that, you know, I try to be a really good father and a husband and stuff. And, you know, my dad is a great guy, okay? But he made mistakes just like all of us do. So I would see those mistakes as I was growing up, and I tried not to make the same with mine. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do things, right? And then when we do trip up, we hope that, like this community that we got going on here, we're going to grab a hold of each other and we're going to pick each other back up, right? Even when we've done something that wasn't right. That's true growth. That is true truth. Okay? That's what it is. And again, this is why I don't talk about those kinds of photographs, because people will get mad. They'll get so mad. And all it is we're trying to find the truth. That's it. You know? I've never once, and I have to say this again. This is the last thing I want to say about this, and we'll move on. Like, some of the bigger channels that are showing you, you know, like two suns or even UFO stuff, right? When you ask them to do this, and they don't, the next question should be, why won't you do that? And then that's probably where your conversation is going to end, because they're probably not going to contact you anymore. Okay, Holiday, that's fine. It's all good. You don't have to be here. I mean, if you want to leave, go ahead. This is what this live stream is for. That's why I did a daily update earlier. All good. You know, I'm not trying to come at you or nothing, but you came at me right there. So that's okay. I'm not mad at you. That's my response. But yeah, I was getting ready to move on anyway, like I just said probably 1,000 times. And I'm aware I do that, guys. So, I don't mean to. It's just when I'm trying to make a point, I try to make sure that everybody has it, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. So, I understand. When I'm listening to somebody and I think they're rambling, you know, it does annoy me too. So I don't try to be annoying, but I do want to respect people and their time. But this one isn't about that. This is me connecting to everybody and talking to you. And that's why I did the other show earlier. So, we can move on though. As I said I was going to anyway. G3 geomagnetic storm. Occur approximately 200 times per 11 years. That's pretty shocking to some people a lot of times, you know? Excuse me. Tell you what we'll do. Let's do that. I appreciate you guys. I really do. You know, even Holiday, I appreciate you, man. Or woman, if you are. Where you at? You know, it's okay. Listen, I feel that way about some other people too. You ain't got to leave. You can if you want, but, you know. Somebody says that to me, I guess, you know, I'm not apologizing for that at all. What I'm saying is that I know that I ramble sometimes. That is one of my a little bit of a flaw I have. I repeat things over and over and over again because I want people to understand. But as far as this right here, look at here, guys. Look at this. This is the electron flux. You got probably, man, I'm trying to figure out if that's a flare or not. Wow. That's a lot of times when we see a signature like that, that could be a flare. Let's do this, guys. Let's go over here and let's go check out. Do that. Let's go check out SDO and see if we can catch a flare. We might have had a flare. Not for sure. We'll check it out. And I would encourage everybody else too to do this, like what I just showed you guys there. I used to show you guys this all the time, but then again, people started slamming me on this because I was taking too much time showing people how to navigate these websites. But I think it's important for everybody to look at it for themselves. I ain't telling nobody what to think. I'm showing you observations and I'm moving on. That's just what I do. You guys know that. And I think you guys should do the same. So I guarantee you, we're not going to, agree 100% of the time. Nobody does. I would be foolish to sit here and try to tell people that I do. That's ridiculous. Oh, goodness, let's see here. Ooh, what was that? You guys see that? Let's check that out. Hold on a minute. I think I might have seen something. Look down in here. You guys see that right there? Watch when the time lapse restarts, but that would have been back on the beginning of the 5th. That wouldn't be what we're seeing right now. That little puff. Guys, like I've said many times, the sun, when it's the background and you're trying to see something right in the front, it's hard to see it. Okay? It just is. Those that are looking at this thing for the first time, this is the 171 angstrom, and it's showing you just that specific gas, right? They assign a color to this. We can't actually see this with our eyes. So they have to put a filter on it so we can actually see this. Now, the filter doesn't actually look like this, okay? It's a data thing, right? And then they just assign a color to this gas, and that's what we're seeing. If you guys go over to Stereo A, or I think Soho, the 171 is blue. On this one, it's yellow. And I touched on that a little bit earlier. But yeah, thanks, Vibrant. I appreciate that. You guys, does anybody know how to look up Schumann resonance for past dates? Yes, that is possible. It's on a different website. I guess I could look into that for you. I used to know how to do that. I was reporting on it every day, so I just didn't. Because I had my own little archive by just going back and looking at my videos. But yeah, there's a way to do that. Exile just dropped a link. Yeah. If you guys go to that link, there's probably an archive tab or a data tab you can click on and enter a date, and it'll probably take you back to it. What's the matter? Your mother just unexpectedly passed, and I need to know. What do you need to know, Spice? What's going on? You okay? Oh, okay. That you were asking that about the Schumann. Okay. We will definitely get you that answer, Spice, okay? Matter of fact, hang in there for a second. We're going to put this on pause for a minute. We'll just go try to see if we can't figure it out now. I want you guys to watch me do this, okay? I'm going to X out of that. Okay, this is how you go find stuff, all right? I'm just going to click on simple Google, right? Put resonance is only one S. Just click in Schumann resonance, okay? And this is what you're going to get. This is just a simple Google, right? It tells you what it is, but then you can scroll down. And then you start getting other imaging, right? Usually there are. Let's see here. Exile, did you put a link down there? I was actually going to try to do it from just doing it like you did, didn't you? Okay. Thanks, Exile. Appreciate that. That's probably going to help us. Oh, goodness. It's redirected. I wonder why. That's kind of strange. Anyway, let's go back over here while that's trying to load. Now, look at this, guys. Human resonance Russia. That's probably the tool that I look at. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to click on that. See here? The human resonance monitoring. Let's click on that. Man, I don't want... Whatever. Stupid cookies, man. This looks like a paper. Yeah, that's not what we want. This is what we'll find out, you know? This is what we do. Okay, we'll start all over. Let's try this link first. Man, exile that link is just... I'm not sure what's wrong with it. But let me do this. I'm trying to find her a place to go where she can go back and look at archive data. Let's see here. Let's get back to that. This is on Twitter. A lot of times you guys click on these, they'll have the sites where they actually go to look at this stuff. Okay? This is his own stuff, but he goes back quite a bit. Spice if, yeah. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it, Exile? It's nuts. It does that stuff to me all the time too. Spice, if you go here to this Twitter page, look at all this stuff it's got. Okay, it looks like it goes back. I'm not sure exactly when she passed, but it looks there's a third, second, and again we could probably click on this tool right here, and it will probably take us somewhere else to find the actual tool itself. He's getting data, or she is getting data from somewhere and just posting that on her Twitter page. Okay. But guys, look at all this stuff we could look at on this. I mean, does it affect our blood pressure? Yes, it does. I can say for sure. Cardiac departments are now taking it into consideration. Let's do this. Human resonance tool. Let's try that. See, these are all scientific paper, but a lot of times they'll have websites that you can go to what's this? Yeah, those are all scientific papers. Here's an archive, look. Okay. Identifiers, collections, file. I don't know why it's giving us an archive. There's a citation there, but that's not the... Let's, I really want to find you an archive place to go. A lot of times you'll find links in these papers that are really useful. But it... Let me hit that link now, Exile. Okay, hold on. That's a DLive link. Oh, that's the Marks page, guys. Yeah, go over and check that out. There you go. Thanks for putting that in there, Exile. Appreciate that, man. Mark Pyers, right there on DLive, guys. Go check that out. Go sub up to him. He had like 130. We need to get him to 200. So if we could do that, that would be great. Yeah, Jack, we're going to talk about that in a second. I kind of got off on a rant, and I really didn't mean to go that far with it, but I actually touched on some pretty controversial subjects. But, you know, I get hammered no matter what I do, guys. You guys are there for me, but outside of that, man, I get smacked. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. What's this? Okay, this is a good place to go here, Spice. Human Resonance. This is on the Play Store. Okay, you got Google Play, or you could probably go to the Apple Store or whatever if you got Apple. But there's going to be a ton of apps. Okay, so let's well, I guess I could install that real quick. Why not? Screw it. Okay, whatever. Yes, that's my phone. Well, not gonna do that. I got like 2 or 3 forms of verification. It'd take me for freaking ever. So yeah, if you go to the Play Store, Spice, you'll be able to find all kinds, and I mean all kinds of apps. They will do whatever you think you need to do. Yeah, you're welcome, Spice. I mean, I hate to hear that. How long ago did she pass? I might be able to just show it to you right now. If you could just let me know, maybe I'll be able to help you with that. I'm sure somebody else could too. Well, birthday, guys, that's what we could do. Let's do this real quick. September 19th. Okay, just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, the DLive link worked, didn't it, Christine? Thanks for putting that out there, Exile. I appreciate that. Thanks for verifying that too, Christine. I appreciate that too. It was through the night after the... Oh, okay. Yeah, guys, you know, I think that and let me say this to you, Spice, that, you know, if she was having any kind of health issues that she didn't speak to you, maybe, or maybe that it was just one of those things where she was having some issues and didn't know it. A lot of times when we get that unexpected stuff, yes, the human could actually be part of that, because it can increase our blood pressure, our heart rate, all that kind of thing. And any of that I just said would be bad for somebody that had like congestive heart failure, and multiple other things that they didn't know that they had. You can have that stuff and still not even really know it. You know, congestive heart failure goes undiagnosed so many times. 67. That's way too young, Spice. I'm sorry you're going through that. Anything's way too young in my opinion, but that's even worse. I mean, I hate to hear that. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background on mine, I've experienced a lot of health issues with my father. He had a brain aneurysm. Actually, it was a arterial dissection in the main artery to his brain. In other words, the inner and outer wall of that artery separated from each other, and it acted like an aneurysm. It bled. My sister was about 8 or 9 when that happened, and she was at home with him by herself. I'm 17 years older than my sister. So she called 911 and all that kind of stuff. And when I get to the hospital, the doctor just looked at me and said, if he doesn't stop bleeding on his own, he's going to die. I'm sitting there trying to calm my mom down. She's trying to get me to get on this helicopter with him, and they wouldn't let me. And it was a big, big ordeal. But I was so upset that I actually beat the helicopter to the facility in my car. Well, they got there quicker than I did, but I was in his room where they were going to pull him into before he was. Oh yeah, critical brain hemorrhage. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, Spice. That's just horrible. But anyway, he had that go on, and then he had to have brain surgery 3 weeks later because they put a stent in his artery there. He was the first person in the world to have a stent put in that part of the body. And because the stent was put there, not to hold it open, but to reinforce the strength of the arterial wall. And so that was done. And it was done when they didn't have brain stents. They actually put a heart stent in. But what it did was it caused the weak spot just downstream just a little bit, and then he formed an aneurysm. So he ended up having to have brain surgery anyway. But to look at him today, guys, you wouldn't know it. He's been shot 3 times, stabbed in his heart, had his arm cut from one side to the other, drove a car off a cliff, went out the windshield and back in, shattered every bone in his face, and they had to do reconstructive surgery, which, again, you would never know. So he's here for a reason, guys. It's probably me. Yes, it did, Exile. Thank you. Christine checked too. So thank you for dropping that in there. So, yeah. The D-Live? Yes, the D-Live link worked, Exile. Yeah, guys, it's all bad when we're talking about stuff like that, and it is something we need to talk about, even though it isn't fun. It helps us get over it. It really does. What was I going to show you guys? I forget. I'm just trying to connect with you guys. I'm just trying to hang out. Seriously, that's why I'm here right now. And that's, and I said that. Let's check out the CME tracker. That thing hasn't updated yet. That's unfortunate. I hate that when they do that. But yeah, we got this going on, guys. Yeah. Huh. I'm not seeing anything. I just wonder why that is really showing stuff. It's kind of odd. Let's see. Let's watch this update and see what we get. Yes, you can, Connie. Please do. I would love to. I love anything I can learn, guys. Something up? Maybe, gentlemen. I'm not sure yet. We're looking at this right now. You can see here where the electron flux is kind of spiking. And the magnometers are actually moving around too. Okay? And if you look at our last reading, we actually almost went into storm level. We dropped down, and now we came back up another level here to back up to a 3. So, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Guys, and I know it's kind of negative talk when we're talking about health and all that, but, That's part of life, guys. It really is, and it does help people that are going through that. Okay, check this out. Ace is updated now too. Back on. Looks like those are pretty normal signatures. Yeah, Tennessee. The Google Earth fire map. Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of that here in a second. You got lupus, Connie. That sucks. Blessing, Della. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing going on with this right now, guys. Looks like we went to pretty much normal conditions. What we can do here real quick is, let's do this. Let's go over here, check out we'll go check out the Google Earth stuff here in a minute, but, I'm not sure. How many is even in here right now? Are they even listening to me? I didn't even look. Here's the velocity. Let's look real quick. About 230 people. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, I know this is a late stream and everything, but, you know, it is what it is. So this is the velocity. Okay, remember, guys, the sun's off to the left on this one. So let's bring it back to the beginning, let it play. And it does look like it might have calmed down a little bit than earlier. Now, if you notice, guys, you see how this stuff is like happening in one spot? If we were getting consistently hit, like, directly from the sun, it should be symmetrical. Almost. I mean, it's going to vary a little bit, but to have stuff start right here, you can see it. Nothing's going on out front, but why is stuff still happening back here? You see how that moved from here down and then out? This is something I don't go over in the daily updates because it takes up too much time. But you see that, right? So with that being said, the density even shows it more. Watch this higher dense material start right there where my cursor was. It'll move towards us, the planet. See what it's doing there? This is extremely odd. Okay? Now, did you guys see what just happened right there? Watch this. I'll play that again. Watch right here. You tell me why this density was right here and it was like a finger that just swiped across. See that? Right there. Why, you know, my gosh. Yeah, go check out Exiled over his YouTube channel. See that? Boom. So why is it doing that? Now, look, guys, when I'm going forward, if I'm going forward in time, stuff should move from here this way to the right, not from here to the left towards the sun. Watch. I'm going forward. That's backwards. Okay? Why is it doing that? Watch what happens. See, you got low dense material here, right? And then this higher dense section we got right behind us, it almost punches through right here and moves that direction towards the sun. How? It puzzles me sometimes. Watch. See that? It's just all kinds of odd, man. Yeah, Kathleen, we did. Yeah, I was actually going to talk about that a little bit here in just a second. I wanted to show everybody this real quick because watch the pressure here, guys. Notice how everything's kind of tilted this way. That means it's directional, whatever's going on. There's that You see how that even did it. The pressure even went that way right there in that same spot. So something's different right there. You know, I don't know what that is, to be honest. Look at that just build. Finally it connected. That's pressure, guys. You know, this isn't like catastrophic under pressure. Oh yeah, I like that song. Anyway, again, look at this saw blade thing down here too. I was mentioning that too. It's smooth up here, but it's been that saw blade signature down there. Not sure what that's about. Okay, watch the pressure right here. Remember I just showed it to you on the density. Watch this right here and it'll move that way. It shouldn't do that. See? It's kind of crazy. The gentleman, what's up, buddy? Said hi to you a minute ago. Thanks, man. I love you back, bud. Candace, what's up? Darlene. What'd you say there? Maybe the earth doesn't like all the polluting dirt doing up in the sky. Hey, yeah, exactly. Yeah, CW, we were just talking about that. Guys, I caught Dutch's stream earlier, and the way my mind works, I'll show you. Okay, we'll just do it this way. How about we just let me? I do want to show you guys. Let's check out the geoelectric field real quick, because this is a good way to see if we're getting strong geomagnetic activity. This is the effects on our electrical grid. All right. If you're seeing stuff right here, you're going to see stuff everywhere. I got to grab a pop real quick, guys. Sorry. My mouth's getting dry. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Just need to get something to drink. Been sitting here talking too much, rambling. Guess I was born a rambling man. But yeah, guys, you see that? It's definitely more active than what we've been seeing the past couple days. So, yeah. Let's do this, guys. Let's go check out what Dutch was showing us earlier. I'm not going to go to his channel. I'm going to take you to the website that was showing you the information. That way we can see what he was actually talking about. Ha ha, you're in Indiana, you can't help it. Who said that? Oh, soda and pop. Yes, that is most certainly a conversation we all could have. That's funny, Cindy. Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to catch back up, guys. Yeah, guys, go check that out. I tell everybody go check out everybody's stuff. Oh, I ain't got fancy stuff here. This is not fancy. Believe me. This is what free gets you. Yeah, guys, go check that out. So it says here, scroll down in the name of Two Sunsets. Okay, cool. We can check that out. I'm all about checking all new stuff out, guys. But like, I'm not sure if you were here earlier. I think you were. But yeah, if you guys do that, obviously you can't go back on old stuff and look at it. I'm not saying that at all. But newer stuff that you do, if you put your finger in front of the sun while you're taking your pictures, you'll eliminate all these people that want to come at you. Okay, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to use that and come at you. That way you can eliminate the whole lens flare conversation goes away if you do that. If you put your finger in front of the sun and the object is still there, nobody will be able to debunk it. Not nobody will. That's why I tell you guys that stuff. It's not because I don't want people to see what you've got and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually trying to help. I really think that every once in a while we catch stuff, guys. Okay, I'm not saying that we don't, because we most certainly do. Hey, Christine, just go up there in your. You see where my cursor is? Watch this. This is all you got to do. Go up here in the URL box. Highlight that. Right click. Hit copy. Come over here to the chat or wherever you need to be. Hit paste. There's your link. That right there. If you click on that link, it'll take you right here to what I'm looking at. Come on now. See me shirtless, huh? What is it, a whale or something? Anyway. So what we'll do, we'll go over here to, we are getting some action there though, guys. Okay, we're getting some activity now. We're definitely taking some hits. I look for our geomagnetism to go, get a little bit more active here in the next few hours. So let's go over here where Dutch was at. Wow. You got a photographic memory? That's awesome. Okay. I'll take you guys down to the regional. I'm going to show you first what Dutch was showing earlier. That's crazy, Kathy. Wow. Okay, just to explain to you guys what we're looking at here. This is shortwave infrared. So it's going to pick up heat signatures. Okay? And they're going to show up and they're going to be black. I'll probably have to go in a little closer, but you see right there? That means that there's probably a fire there or something like that in that location. Not really sure if that's what's going on there. But okay, now Dutch was talking about down here, guys. You see this? They were there and gone in like 15 minutes. You've had your landline Wi-Fi going in and out. Where you at? What part of the world? You ain't got to give me no like direct whatever, but what part of the world you in, ordinary? What I'm going to do, I'm going to go down a little bit closer here. Southeast Indiana? You having issues? Are you? I'm in Indiana. I'm actually in, East Central. We're probably neighbors. So, yeah. But as far as what we're looking at here, guys, watch right here on the Missouri-Arkansas border, like right in this area. You're going to see hot spots pop up and go away really, really quick like. So what we'll do is we'll just run this back. You seeing those little things pop up? Watch. Okay, you have to ask yourself why. Right? Ain't that what we're talking about here? Christy, you're in southwest Indiana over by Evansville, huh? Probably, if you're in southwest. Close to it anyway. Northwest Indiana, Wi-Fi and internet out tonight, couple hours. Really? Yeah, we'll check out Louisiana here in a second, Amanda. Okay, so we're picking up these heat signatures. That's what Dutch's point was, okay? Because these are definitely increasing heat. These are not fires. Number one, you see no smoke. Number two, they don't last long enough. And you tell me the last time we've had a big fire on the border of Missouri and Illinois. You know, come on. So, I hope you guys can see that right in there. I'm sure you can. So I'll rock it back and forth a little bit. But you got to understand that wasn't there very long. Okay? And it's like moving so fast. You guys see that? So I'm not, Dutch is way more up on this than what I am. I'm going to make a very amateur attempt to show you kind of sort of what he was saying. And then I would really love for you guys to go watch him. Because he's most certainly going to be able to give you a little bit better information than what I can. I just simply don't know this very well. Alright? So we'll go down south here. Okay, we were just looking up here. Right? So we'll see what it does here. Remember, watch down in here. Okay, now something else we need to look at here, guys. Again, we're seeing the black dots. That's what we're looking at. That's increased heat. This is infrared we're looking at. See how it's spreading over this way. Why is it spreading over this way? Well, there's something called the North American Craton. And it's a big plate. Alright? That's what any of us that live here, we probably pretty much know what it is. Most people do. But you can see how these little spotted heat signatures are popping up everywhere right now. I mean, look down here in Florida. Look at that one. Yeah, Becca, you're probably over here somewhere, maybe up here. I'm close. Obviously, I'm in Indiana, so I know about the New Madrid too. Guys, go over and check out Kathy's channel. And go check out what she's got, I point everybody to everybody, guys. I mean, honestly. Everybody has good information, I am wrong sometimes. Okay, let me say that straight up. And I've said this 1,000 times. I try not to be, and I'm getting better at not being. But it has taken me almost 3 years to get to where I'm at now. It's not going to happen overnight. And people, don't be afraid to start your channel if you're trying to start a channel. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Because once you make that mistake, if you're anything like me, you won't make it again. Because it's going to hit you in the face and you're going to be like, oh gosh, I was wrong. That kind of a thing. And you don't forget that. So, you can't drop links on your phone? Really? Wow, that's kind of odd. What kind of phone you got, Christine? You should probably just be able to press and hold in your box up here, and it will probably highlight the whole thing for you, and then you just click copy and paste. I don't know. There you go. Exile's got you hooked up, girl. There you go. Thanks, Exile. Appreciate that. So anyway, you see all these little black dots. I can't really zoom in much further than this. We could go to a local view. Come on, Exile. Come out of the gutter for a minute, bro. Anyway, you got these black dots, right? Popping up everywhere down here on the southeast. Now, we're going to go up the east coast here, too. And that's the thing, Missy. We're not seeing, like, smoke plumes. We're not seeing, like, fire, I guess. We might see some, like, smoke plumes, but, yeah. Yeah, everybody, love bomb Christine there. You guys can leave my stream. Go sub up to her real quick. Come back. Yes, Ricky. Yes, you're 100% right. I'm assuming Ricky probably watched Dutch's. She's very, very knowledgeable about this earthquake stuff, guys. So go check her out. She's pointing me to some people, too, that's been helping me out. And it's just, yeah. And that again, Let me tell you guys this. I'm never, ever going to feel bad for sitting here talking to you guys and ranting on a live stream that I said, hey, that's probably going to happen. That's why I did the daily update earlier. This is for people that want to stick around and hang out and talk. You can see the smoke in the Blue Hill. Yeah, you might be able to. But some of these, let me say this. Not all of these are fires. That's kind of what I'm trying, and that's what Dutch was saying. The North American Craton, I guess I could probably Google a picture of it for you. Hold on a second. Let me do that for you guys. This is what we got. Okay? That's the North American Craton. And when you see this, actually, we need to get a different picture. This isn't the best one. Let's go to a different one. I'm trying to find one that keeps all the lines to the states there. Is it over here, maybe? Now, you're going to see that some of these vary. And I know that there's some question on exactly where it's at and all that kind of a thing. But for what we're showing here, I guess I could just use one of these. It doesn't... I'm just trying to explain to you guys what Dutch was talking about. Okay? Here's the Craton. Okay? So basically what's happening is right along the border of this Craton, where this is at, this is where we're seeing the uptick in the temperature on the infrared. Okay? So what that's basically, if I understand this correctly, it would be like magma and stuff moving underneath here, which would indicate that this whole thing is slipping. Is that correct, Ricky? Did I say that right? Just give me a yes or no if I'm even close. Croutons, taters. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's 420, isn't it, Exile? Ain't that what you're talking about? I'm assuming. Goodness. Okay, thank you, Ricky, for at least clarifying that for me. I really wanted to make sure I didn't want to give somebody some bad stuff there. Let's just back off of that. So thank you. Polar flip slip causing plate friction. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know that I know much about all that together. Again, I know as much as what you guys can go look at. Okay. I trust Dutch. I'm trying to learn. Ricky knows I've been trying to, at least gain some knowledge on this so I can at least speak as an amateur a little bit and show people what's going on. But yes, we got these increased temperature signatures all around the edge of this thing. Okay, it's even going up the East Coast, guys. He was showing that earlier. Yeah. She says VLF earthquakes have been hitting the Midwest. They're signs of plate shifting. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, PCM, that's what we're talking about, actually. Yeah, this is, we caught them doing it there. I showed a couple of them, a couple of those signatures. People are going to tell you that it's like maybe cosmic rays hitting off the camera or the satellite camera, that kind of a thing. Not everything's a cosmic ray, guys. Oh, really? Volcanic eruption, huh? Let's go check that out. Let's go check out, let's see what we can find out there. Let's, oh, look at there. North American Ridge, Mid-Atlantic Ridge, had another earthquake out in the Atlantic. Look. I guess I can move the chat away from that. That's a 5.6. That just happened about an hour ago. That one is that's a 3.1. There. And right there on the edge of the Cascadia subduction zone. Down here, that's a 4.9 in Chile. That's a 5.2. 5.1, that's Vanuatu. 5.3. I mentioned this earlier, guys. We had a bunch of 5s just popping off everywhere. Now check this out. Yeah, fires in the bayou. Yeah, Ricky. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. I think that's what Dutch was trying to say. She hit it right on the head. Hey, Cherry Boo. Good to see you. You changed your name a little bit there? I think you did, didn't you? Anyway, Ricky hit it right on the head. That's what Dutch was trying to say. We're getting temperature increase that would indicate like fires, but you're not going to have fires in a bayou. It's swamp area, guys. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, if the Mississippi runs backwards, guys, you might want to go the other way. Just kidding. Yeah, exactly, Vibrant. You hit it right on the head. You guys are picking up my spirits bigger than anything. Wow, I love this. Why wouldn't it be any different in 2020? Like she just said, Vibrant Love did. Yeah. That's the thing, guys. That's why Dutch is so much on his game. It's no joke. You can tell he cares and he's passionate about what he is talking about. If you guys go watch his last premiere, he was actually live on Twitch and he decided to record it. But while he was doing that, you could see him getting excited. And not like giddy excited, like happy, but just knowing that what he's saying is being vindicated by what he's seeing. That shows that he's passionate and he believes in what he's saying. That's always good to see that, because that means that's he's there for the right reasons. So yeah, Cherry, I mean, praying for his safety every day, man. That guy is, him and Scott both. A lot of guys out there that are on the edge of that, pushing that edge, bucking the system. Man, I buck it enough. Guys, I've had my share. I just don't talk about it. Okay? I'm not going to go into everything. I actually, I've already mentioned this, or I wouldn't mention it now. I had somebody actually threaten Mr. MBB3's life in my comment section on my channel. It's like, why? Why you, just because I like Mr. MBB3 and I show his webpage and I use the Schumann link over there, why? Why would you? It makes no sense. Yeah, AT, I know, Axe. Ain't that crazy? That's something most of you guys probably didn't know. And that's where, yeah. I actually tried to get in contact with Mr. MBB3, and we talked a couple times before, but his channel's gotten so big, it'd be hard for him to, talk to everybody. No way he could talk to everybody. But I actually emailed him and asked him what he wanted me to do with it. I took some screenshots of it, and I reported it to YouTube. But there was nothing more I could do with it. It's disgusting. Yeah, Becca, that's ridiculous. Here it is, guys. I mean, what we're talking about right now. Yeah, Spice, he's awesome. That just shows that everybody's so polarized that people are they cannot accept anything than what they actually think the truth is. And that's where we get the big issues at. Geopolitically, same thing. Yes, we should hold firm to what we believe, especially when we're talking about morality and things like that. But even at that, we all live in the same country. We all live here, right? Well, then, at some level, we're going to have to be able to come off of, at least a little bit to compromise. If we don't, nothing that we want done is going to get done. Because it's going to be locked up in a bunch of argument. So if both sides could kind of come off just a touch, it don't take a lot. But they won't. Scott has been talked to as well. Go ahead and ask him. What are you saying there? Fatty McButterpants. Good name. Good name. Oh, yes. Guys, yeah, Fatty, you hit it right there, man. There's, he tells you guys almost everything that happens, but he doesn't tell you all of it. I know, because we're friends, we talk in the background. There's so many more things that happen that you guys don't even get to hear. Really? That's crazy, Kathy. Wow. See, man, I mean, this is what I'm saying, guys. Yeah, you're right, Fatty McButterpants. I love your name, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it's everything, CW. I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah, guys, you see that right there? Please, guys, if you haven't went over there, it only take a couple seconds to go. If you have to create a DLive account, it doesn't cost any money. Just click that link right there. You may have to sign up for DLive if you don't have one. But again, it's as simple as setting up an account name and a password. And then follow Mark. We need to get him up over 200. If we do that, they'll be able to open up so much more on that site, and it'll help. It'll help his YouTube, by the way. Because the more that people are watching, the more will come over from there, and more that'll go back that other direction too. So, and the way the chat goes, if you're over on D Live and you make a chat comment, it actually shows up in the YouTube chat. So, you can do it over there, you can do it over there, however it is. Well, you achieved that, Fatty McButterpants. You gave me a giggle for sure. Love it. Yeah, PCM. Unfortunately, I think you're right. It starts with all of us right here. Just as much as it started with us, and and when I say us, I'm talking about the people that have been raising our kids, right, before us, raising us, pretty much, like our parents and the ones before. Just as much as they started all this, we're going to have to finish it. And what I mean by that is we're going to be the ones responsible for stopping it if we want our kids to ever have a chance. So, that's just what it is. And then our kids, I got a 25 and a 21-year-old, and I have a 13-year-old also, but those two are adults. And, man, I really want them to, I don't want them to have to fight a fight that we started. So, what'd you say there, Spice? WSO, Viv, Steve and Dobbs had an interesting visual about cycles and cycles of intended unrest by powers that be. Yeah. Guys, it's a real thing, okay? I stepped out and did something out of my comfort zone a few videos back. Yeah, Spice, there's a lot going on with that. There's a lot of things there that could be right, and there's probably a whole lot of it that could be wrong too. Again, it's one of those situations where it's going to fall on opinion and what people are seeing. But yeah, I think that what we're seeing in just our everyday life it becomes hard, and stuff like this that we're doing right now, talking to each other. That's what we have to do. We cannot stop talking. If you guys just break it down to like even like just your personal relationships you have in your house, in your own little world there. When do things get really bad? It's when the communication gets broken down, right? Because that ain't what gets you to the bad place. You're already at the bad place, but you can't come out of it unless you're talking, unless you're communicating. Even if that communication causes argument, it still has to be done because there is a cycle that we go through in our own lives, in our own mind. We have to go through a certain, pattern to get to the good stuff. Back to it. Yeah, Exile. Love that, man. Keep slamming that in there, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Vibrant, that's a good way. Really, it is. I'm not even kidding. If more people did that, I know it sounds kind of cliche or whatever, but most people probably have seen that movie, Pay It Forward. If anybody hasn't seen that movie, they need to go watch it. Because I guarantee you, if those of us that are sitting here right now, there's, 200 of us sitting in here maybe? Let's look. Yeah, 228 of us right now. If all of us did that, what would happen? If we do what that rule is you go do something nice for somebody to 3 different people, and then those people go do something nice for 3 other people, that it substantially grows really, really fast. So it would just bam. If everybody could just I mean, do it for a week. If we did that for a week, it would be global. And I know that that's probably not feasible. I get it. But that does not mean we don't stop trying. Because the second we give up, I mean, that's the second we might as well just dig a hole. And that's just the truth, you know? We can't give up. I know all of us feel like it sometimes, but, you know, I've been through a lot just like everybody else has been through a lot. My situation isn't any better or worse than anybody else's. We all have our issues, and none of it's any greater than the other. What makes it different is how we deal with it. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. Hi, Nicole. How you doing, girl? So, yeah, guys, I mean, it's just, you miss it. Hey, you know what, guys? Missy said something there that I'm going to address here real quick. You guys probably have thought this too. Hey, Ordinary. This is what, I know you were in here earlier, but I didn't know if you left and came back. I hadn't seen you comment for a minute. But, yeah, what was I going to say? I done lost it. What were we... Oh, yeah, the ignorance thing, right? How many times have you guys ever wished you'd have just taken that blue pill? I mean, right? I mean, it just, wow. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want that. So you ain't got to ever think that you were in something bad before. But you got to understand this. This is where, you know, we all go there sometimes, right? But the biggest thing I do is I try my best not to ever take for granted anything. And when we do, it's just, yeah, it's bad stuff. It's one of those things. Hey, Casey, how are you? Yeah, the world's gone crazy. That's for sure. That doesn't mean we got to be part of the world then. You know what I mean? We can fix the world and not be a part of it. That's a fact. You know, we can go live on Mars for a minute. Yeah, Ricky, I agree. I agree. That's why, you know, I don't regret taking that red pill, guys, ever. That just happened. That just happened, guys. I think, didn't it? Yeah, guys, that just happened like 5 minutes ago. We just had a 5.8 earthquake right off of Alaska there. Pretty shallow too, Ricky. Check it out. 21 kilometers deep. That's right, Della. Be the light. That's right. Yep. In the world, not of it. Good comment there, Chris. I like that. Yeah, Menacing, I just pointed that out right there. For sure. That's a big one, guys. Oh wow, that's a bit, yeah, that's almost a 6. I get, let's click on the button here. There's probably no, yeah, there's not. Typically there's not. You know, more times than not, there's no like tsunami issue, but sometimes there is, and that's why we look every time. But this time, they're saying it's not. But we have to understand. Yeah, that's right, Fatty McButterpants. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Every once in a while you think, man, I wish I just didn't know all this or even have seen it. No tsunami warnings, Becca. I just checked. You know, PCM, that's a good question, you know. It is, yeah. I wish I had a good answer for you. I really do. I'm going to change the settings on this real quick. Let's go, what do you guys want? All day? All magnitudes for a day? Let's try that. See that, guys? See what happens there? That immediately will show you where all the swarming is going on. Okay? Let me back off of that for a minute. Put that back there. And I said this in my daily update. Look at this. That's the whole state, pretty much, or about half the state of Alaska. And, guys, I mean, this is a good distance away from the fault lines. But then again, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't that like right on the edge of the Craton? Doesn't the Craton go over that far or not? I can't remember if it does when it gets that far north. I can't remember. Maybe somebody said that earlier. Ricky, do you know if that's on the edge of the Craton? I'm not sure. I know that it's probably not. I would have meant. Oh, over here? Okay. So you got the Craton here. We got those fire spots happening. Let's go back over here and check that out. I don't know, Ricky. I've never seen that before. Has anybody else seen that? Like these little heat signatures that are just like popcorn. They're there and gone. There and gone. It's like it's peppering it right around the edge of this thing. And I know that's what Dutch was kind of going at a few minutes ago, or a couple hours ago. But, man, I don't know that I've ever seen any kind of satellite view that did that. That's just, yeah, those are hot spots, Rachel. And that's the whole question here, you know. These are down in like swamp areas, some of them. So they're not, they're definitely not fires. Yeah. Yeah, I wondered. Hey, Menacing, what's up? So, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, guys, you got, man. Yeah, I seen that, Tanya. We were just talking about that. Change this setting again. What the heck? That's weird, guys. You see that? Why is it not showing me that earthquake that just happened? Are you kidding me? You guys see that, right? We just had one right here. A 5.8. Look at this, guys. They changed it over here, too. What is going on with that? Yeah, they took it off of there. That's nuts. Let me refresh. Let me see what that does. Come on, guys. I mean, give me a break. You see that? Ricky, are you seeing that? That one that just popped up in Alaska, they took it off. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Isaiah Granny, look at that. They did. They took it off of there. There it is. Why is it not showing on that one? They downgraded it already to 5.6. It was a 5.8. Yeah, Cindy, that's a good one. Or Mark, good one. Or no, just a 5/8 mistake. That's kind of crazy, though. Has anybody ever seen that happen before? That it showed up on the 7 day, but not the 1 day? Oh, there it is. It's back now. Yeah, that's what happened. It's there. We just happened to see it when it was glitching, I guess, or when they were trying to make a change to it. Yeah, they downgraded it to a 5/6 already. It was a 5/8 when it first popped on there. So, yeah. The gentleman, yeah, we need to be a beacon, that's for sure. Beacon of hope for people. Oh, do they, Mighty Mark? Okay. I didn't know that. I thought they just left it there and then they would just go in and change the data in here. I didn't know they completely removed it. Yeah. They pulled it off there, dropped it a 0.2, and then put it back on there is what happened. You think their servers suck? Yeah, you're probably right, Spice. It's probably, yeah, you'd think a big organization like their big agency like the USGS would have the best. Yeah, that's what we found out, Nicole. That's what happened. Because when it came back, it was a 5/6. Yeah, Alaskan earthquakes. I mean, yeah, look, if you look at the 1 day all magnitude, look. It's swarming there. It's swarming here. And I noticed a little small swarm down here. I think that's probably about where the swarms are right now. So yeah, it's let's back off of that. I'll take that off there a little bit. I know a lot of people. Wow. Dang, Ricky, you seeing that? I know you're still in here. You got 1, 2. I know these are small, but they're still happening. 1, 4. That's quite a bit in that one little area all at once. Within like an hour. Huh. Yes, I remember that menacing. That was crazy. The methane leaks. Yeah. Yeah, Rick, yeah, you're definitely 100% there. Yeah, 4 isn't small on a volcano. That is most definitely probably one of the best comments that's been said here in a few minutes that we've been talking about this, because that's a great comment to make, because that is true. Anything probably anything more than a 3 on a volcano, people need to be paying attention. Especially if you're getting multiple swarms of them like that. Yeah, it's already aftershocking up here too. Look. What was that one? That's a 2-4. That's going to happen after a quake that size, though. It is out over the water, looks like, maybe. Yeah, it's on one of those small islands, maybe. Yeah, Exile, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in here and stopping in and hanging with us. I appreciate it, guys. And guess what, guys? I'm gonna have to kill this myself. I gotta work in the morning for a little while, so I am gonna have to drop. I've been on stream probably for I don't even know. Let's look. Got about 258 of us in here though. What we got? Well, I'm not seeing a time, so who knows? Oh, yeah. 2 hours and 14 minutes. You just got here, Steven? Well, since you just got here, Steven, ask me a question, and we'll see if I can't get you an answer and show you some stuff. How about that? Hey, good to see you, Yokoke. Yokoke. Good one, Like that. Money Mark, good to see you. Thanks for being in here, mods. I really appreciate you. Cherry Boo 65, good to see you. You were in here earlier. Glad you stuck around. Exile, you the man. Exactly, guys. Kathy, cool. Go check out her videos, guys. She was talking about some stuff earlier. Go check her channel out. Hugs back at you, Kathy. Robin, good to see you. Appreciate you too, guys. Hey, let me say this real quick too, guys. Becca, yeah, love all you guys, man. I mean, listen, I learned so much more from you guys, and I think you guys are probably starting to realize that what I've done here, body and soul. Good to see you. Glad you were here for a while. Really appreciate it, Darlene. You know, I learned so much from you guys, and I think that what's happening is you guys are starting to get to know each other too. And you guys are going to learn from each other. And yeah, 800 Fahrenheit, 900 Fahrenheit hot spots, New Madrid, but no fires. Yep, Steven, that's exactly what we were just showing. Here, hold on a minute. Here you go. Dutch was doing that stream earlier. You probably caught that, I would assume. I'll show it to you again, guys. See these little black spots? This is the infrared. That's what that's showing. And it followed along the edge of the North American Craton. Okay, and I showed that too. But good. Thanks for pointing that out, Stephen. You know, sometimes we won't know that stuff. Guys, if you're ever here on my channel and you're in the chat, don't be afraid to drop that kind of stuff in there. You're right, Monty Mark. Thank you. You know, don't be afraid to, even if you think we might have already heard it, there's a chance we might not have. Thanks, Becca. Really appreciate that. You know, since the beginning of my channel, that's really kind of what I've always wanted, you know, just to be able to connect and do things like this, but at the same time, you know, get good information out and try to do things in a way that isn't so negative. You know, let's face it, what I show you guys, the majority of it is a negative. You know what I mean? It's not good stuff, but it's stuff that we have to hear. But I want everybody to hear it in the most positive light that they can. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to ever walk away from my channel scared or just, you know, in a bad mood, that kind of a thing. I don't want that, ever. Because if you think about it and you take it down to the basic level, none of it is worth that. None of it. I wouldn't, if I couldn't feel happy, if I knew I was never going to feel happy again, I wouldn't want to be here. So, you know, even bad, even like, I guess, concerning would be the best word. Information needs to be put out there in the most positive light that it can, but it has to have that sense of either urgency or sense of importance. And I think that that's what we're trying to do, and I think most people understand that that's here. Yeah, you're right, Becca. We got to hear it. That's the thing. The biggest thing here for me, yes, you're right. You know, knowledge is power. It's true. And yeah, you're right. I want to know too, because when we know and we have some sort of third in line. We've been we've had some here. Let me let's take a look at that before I get off here. That way, see if we got any more updates. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, guys, see, look at this. Look. We had that little bump up, back down a little bit. We're bumping back up. I would almost bet you that in the next update here, we're going to be in a geomagnetic storm. And let me say this. Nobody else is even talking about this, and I don't know why. You can't tell me that I'm the only one that's seen it. If I was, I mean, my gosh. more people need to be looking, I guess. But here's the thing, okay? Look at this graph here. This Enlil model has been changing hour to hour. It has now, and this is why I think we're going to be in a geomagnetic storm here in a few minutes. We're right here in time, okay? Right about here. We got about 12 to 14 hours before we're peaking out at 1700. That's right, menacing. Shoulder to shoulder. Not in front of or behind. We're standing with each other. And that's what makes us strong. It really is. I'm glad, Rita. We're glad to have you. Yeah, Spice. Yeah. You know, I'll just say, everybody knows it. He called me an idiot once in his video, in the comment section on under one of his videos. I don't know. I've never talked to him ever, to Ben. I know that, well, obviously he thinks I'm an idiot. I don't know, but I still watch his channel because, like I said before, guys, if I think there's any kind of truth to be found anywhere, I'll go there. I don't care if people like me there or not. You're in Helsinki? That's cool, Steven. 40-mile-per-hour winds, huh? Yeah, Spice, it's okay. I mean, honestly, that happened a long time ago. You know, I still can't figure out why he chose me to do that, but I don't know. It's what it is. I've been called worse. I know, but you know, I usually don't even mention that kind of thing. But it's okay. Hey, listen. Don't be sorry. Okay? Seriously. Like I just said. I haven't stopped watching those people that don't like me or think I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? Oh, don't let that bum you out, girl. Seriously. Don't. Seriously, don't. And that's why I don't usually say stuff like that, because that's what happens, you know, and I don't want to do that to anybody. I don't want to influence anything that anybody's trying to find or seek out. Okay, I wanted to show you my observation and let you guys decide on your own, and you know, maybe put in a few things there. If you guys ask my opinion, I'll give opinions and stuff like that. But I don't want for my conclusions to always be your conclusions. That's what I'm saying. Because if that's the case, then we're never ever going to be any smarter than what I am. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to admit that, hey, there's some truth over there. Even though, you know, maybe our personalities don't match or whatever. Both of them probably still have something to add. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, and it's my job as running this, you know, channel of mine to do the best I can to sift out all that stuff. And that's why I was talking about the simple lens flare test you can do with your finger. You know, I wouldn't be doing the right thing if I didn't say things like that. And I know it's hard. That's hard for some people to hear about that lens flare thing, because it is a shocker to some people how simple it actually is to almost prove or disprove if something's a lens flare. It's really almost that simple. It completely shocked me. It changed my whole research style. I mean, like overnight. It just really, yeah, Axe, that's a good way to say it. Oh, I will. I'll keep that intro music, Carla. Carla. How you say your name, girl? Is it Carola? Sorry if I butchered that. Corolla, maybe? I don't want to call you a car if you're not. But yeah, sorry if I ever butcher anybody's name. Yeah, and that's an example too, Becca, that you bring up. You know, she doesn't, you know, like watching him, or don't like what's some things that he's done, but yet she still watches because she knows that she's able to discern for herself what's actually true and what's not when she goes to those places. So I really think That's funny, menacing. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Alright, guys. Okay. Hold on a minute here. I do want to show you guys this. Okay. Here's the ACE data, guys. Look what's happening here. I seen this a second ago when I was sitting there doing my ranting. The solar wind is diving out. I don't know why, but our geomagnetic activity is actually rising. And the reason being is because our density is still up. Now, one thing that causes me to think that maybe, David, dude, just got in what you had, okay, about the 900 degree heat. Well, I've actually talked about that quite a bit. I can show it to you one more time. My thoughts, let me just say this. My thoughts are exactly what Dutch is saying. Okay? Anybody wants to go over and check out Dutch's video, please do. Please. So you got this right here. Yeah, guys, go check out Kathy. I mean, really, seriously, go check her stuff out. Look at it, see what you think. I mean, it's probably good stuff. It really is. Go check it out. I'm not. I just tell you what I was trying to explain to people my research style. Not everybody has the same research stuff, guys. It doesn't make it any less important or any worse or better or any of that. It's just different. That's it. That's all it is. There's still good stuff to be found everywhere, guys, and that's what I'm trying to point home. But on the 900 degree thing, we're getting the hot spots here on the infrared. And what kind of brings it home is the fact that they're happening in the bayou, swamp area. So we know they're not fires. What else can it be other than magma causing around the Craton here, causing the heat to rise? Now, the other thing there is, which this is probably not what it is. It could be a combination of the DEW stuff we talk about, right? These are pretty pinpointed locations, but those could just be small cracks where the heat's coming out. Probably like steam and stuff like that. I would assume if something's 900 degrees and this thing's picking it up, I'm not sure how deep this thing can actually pick up something like that, but Sechi hasn't been up for, well, we could go over to Stereo A and look at it, but it's got a 3-day lag. I'll tell you what, I'll show it to you in my next video. That takes some getting, you have to go over here and you have to punch in a bunch of data, like settings, to let it show you what you actually want to see. Oh, no, you're fine. Guys, please, don't apologize for anything. I mean, honestly. Corey, that's a good thought. I guess it could be. I'm not really sure. I do think that, Dutch is onto something here. And he has been for quite some time. Hey, good to see you, June. Sorry we're getting ready to get off of here. I've been trying to, bounce these lives around a little bit, live shows. That way people can kind of pop in, that really typically can't. I know that this is probably better for my viewers that are abroad, other than here, in the States. You gotta go dinner time. There you go. Kathy, good to see you here. Vibrant, Julie Mark, good to see you. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Jules. Aaron, good to see you. Yes. You know what, guys? If you ever hear Dutch speak those words she just said, he said he's never seen this much activity. That exactly what Aaron says here. That should speak volumes, because it does. Yeah, I think you're right there. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that it's that. I think it's more of a magma event thing going on here with that plate slipping. Good night, Medicine. Appreciate you. Spice, Becca, good to see you again, guys. I am going to go ahead and end this, guys. Yeah, I could keep talking to you guys all night long. I enjoy it that much, but I am going to have to end this. So, God bless. Thanks to all the mods. Thanks to everybody that stopped in. Yahuwah saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.